Good afternoon, Patriots, and welcome to another episode of Quarantime. I love this song. I hope you guys had a good weekend. Another day of life in quarantine. So many people from all across the globe. Thank you all for coming. Please do us a favor, like and share this broadcast. Help us break through. It's only because of you guys that we're here. And I need you all today. Thank you for coming. Please, everyone, do sit back, relax, grab your popcorn, and we'll be right back after a brief word from our sponsor. Stephen King once wrote, "Panic is highly contagious, especially in situations when nothing is known and everything is in flux." Well, the world we live in today is in flux, and it's filled with a flood of information that's often as much gossip as fact. Now, that makes it hard to know what the situation really is, and it also makes it easy for people to panic and make bad decisions. The only way not to get caught up in that chaos is to have a plan allowing you to avoid dealing with empty store shelves, long lines, and in the worst case, desperate people. Use today to prepare. A great place to start is storing food in your home, and I'm prepared myself, and I even ordered more recently. Now, the experts at My Patriot Supply have told me that orders have now reached about 100 times the normal volume, and they're shipping on a first-come, first-served basis. With this unprecedented emergency, orders are being delayed, sometimes 8 weeks or more. I urge you to add your order to mine today, because the sooner you order, the sooner you can get your purchase. Take action so you're ready for what's coming and save $70 on a 2-week emergency food kit when you go to my special website, preparewithredpill78.com. Those that know what's coming are preparing today. Go to preparewithredpill78.com. Once again, that's preparewithredpill78.com. And remember, when you support my sponsors, you support this channel. Welcome back, Patriots. As always, please join me in welcoming my co-host, my brother, my research partner, Methods. Methods, how are you, friend?
What's going on, man? I'm doing good. I hope everybody had a great Easter weekend.
I do too.
A little crazy here or there, but I had a great time. Really casual.
This is a plea one more time to drop a like if you can. We've got almost 2,000 people here with 625 likes. We really do appreciate it. I need to say thank you to Alytha Myers and Laura Decker for both joining as members of the channel. Also, Michael Kenny says, having all this free time, I had an epiphany. American Ninja Warrior is the coolest game of the floor is lava ever conceived. Also, 17. I like that. I like that a lot. Then Kimberly Markle Silva says, good morning, Patriots. Where we go one, we go all. Oh, man, you guys. Yes, as Method said, to echo that refrain, I hope you had a pleasant Easter as well. I'm sure that everybody who is here has watched the channel and saw the videos over the weekend. I got to see Real Red Pill Girlfriend for the first time in like a month, maybe more, 6 weeks, something like that. So I was extremely grateful. I had a wonderful time with her this weekend. Honey, I hope you're able to watch right now. And I want to say thank you to all of the mods who are here. and I have put it down to 160-second slow mode. I saw somebody in the chat saying, I hope it is POTUS on today. I don't think it would be a day in America during this time if POTUS did not go on television and give some sort of a press conference. I think it's almost a certainty that POTUS will be on. I want to be honest with everybody. I've had a bit of a rough day so far. It seems like people are having a hard time in general. You know, I don't know how many days we're going on. This is the 13th episode of this show, but in terms of being stuck in our homes, with the economy being slowed down virtually to a standstill, watching the shenanigans of the MSM and seeing what's going on in front of us, it's demoralizing, and it's not easy for a lot of people. And I wanted to address the idea of faith today because it's something very important to myself, not only spiritually, but in terms of the actions that we're engaged in, if you get my drift. In order to have faith, you have to believe in something. You have to believe in something greater than yourself. And you have to know that you will be taken care of by who or whatever it is that you believe in. Obviously, for me, that's our Lord Jesus Christ. That is God. I am a Christian. And when I look at what's taking place in the world, I see us winning, no matter what the setbacks are. No matter what battle of this war we're engaged in. And I do believe that this is essentially World War III. This is the modern-day version of the Cold War. And it's not easy. It is very difficult for a lot of people. I see a lot of people wavering, and I want to say that you're not alone in whatever it is that you're feeling. I don't think this is easy for anybody, and I wouldn't expect it to be. But faith is an incredibly important part of everything that we're doing. You know, if you want to get real technical, the definition of faith is a firm belief based upon confidence in the authority and veracity of another rather than upon one's own knowledge, reason, or judgment, or a spiritual perception of the invisible objects of religious veneration, a belief founded on such spiritual perception. I have my faith founded upon this movement, what it is that we're trying to attain, and that is, I believe in all these things that I'm not seeing. I believe that there is so much going on behind the scenes, and I know that I'm not privy to it, and I don't need to be privy to it. Because of my faith in God and my belief that we will, in the end, be taken care of, it allows me to extend that faith to other things. Methods, I know that you have tremendous faith as well.
Right. I mean, me and you will both agree we're not the best examples at times. I know I get kind of filthy sometimes on my Twitter account. But yeah, I mean, I grew up, you know, having faith. I mean, even if I had to do the seeing is believing thing, I had many things happen in my life that I know was God. And I know, so that's where my faith's always been, and you can't waver that. So when it comes to times like these, of course, it's hard on everybody. You know, we're all having to, you know, make changes, live life differently. We're having to watch all these stories of people. I mean, I read it in your chat of like people having a hard time losing jobs, like not knowing where they're going to be able to pay their next bills, or they can't find the essentials that they need because of stuff going on. It's completely tragic, and I totally hear it. It's just when it comes to the faith thing, it's something that I had strong faith before this started. Mm-hmm. I'm going to continue to hold on to my faith while this is going on, and my faith will be built up even more after the fact because I need to take care of future methods. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that's what we want for everybody. But in turn, me and you have these discussions, and I've had chats with a lot of people because we all see these conversations happening, you know, where there's faith being wavered or not trusting or whatever it is. You all see it. We see it too. The biggest conversation about it is that if we're supposed to be able to think for ourselves and support people being, you know, individuals, then if an individual wants to make that choice because it helps them get through this time to, you know, do something different or take a break. Or I had somebody tell me earlier, they're like, I'm quitting the movement. I don't trust Trump anymore. And it's like, I can't take care of everybody myself. I'm not some sage. Mm-hmm. I just want to be here to help everybody.
Yeah.
You know, so I told him, you know, I hope your future's blessed, you know, Godspeed, you know, and I wasn't sarcastic about it or anything. That's where we are right now. And I don't blame people for feeling different stuff. Now I would prefer for echo chamber feelings about certain stuff to not happen. Just because, you know, when you build up certain followings and stuff, and then you make statements about how you feel and it's bold, and you're like, and then followers might be, well, if he's saying it, it must be true, or it rings true with me, I'm going to share it. And it becomes all this stuff. It's like, that's not how I want to be involved in this movement. You know what I mean? Like, I just want to share information and just be there for people, but to each his own. So that's why me and you have just decided to do our own thing, go about things how we see fit, and let everybody else do what they do. Right.
Yeah. You know, and Anon Mojo in the chat just said they're losing a 35-year business. That's heartbreaking to me. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm having a hard day. That's heartbreaking. You know, I'm so sorry. Faith would be nothing if it wasn't tested. And I wish that wasn't the case, you know, but I want people to put the blame where the blame is due. Don't lose faith in the president. Don't lose faith in the movement, because there are things out there that are going to happen that are beyond our control. The people that have done this, it's not the president, okay? It's not our favorite Anon. It's not 17. It's not me for asking you to have faith, okay? We will recover. Inevitably, we will recover. It may not be in the exact same way that it was before, but it's going to happen. We're going to come back. You know, America has faced worse and more formidable foes in the past. And I just want everyone to be able to feel as good about what's happening as I do. You know, it's not easy. It's not that what's taking place, you know, the fact that we're faced to be on a lockdown, the fact that we're forced to have our rights curtailed, none of that is good. None of that is a good thing. And I never anticipated that as part of the plan. But the thing is that this is warfare. We are going to see undoubtedly things that we never anticipated would happen in this country. And here we are today. And how we react to these things is going to be the measure of who we are as people. Our faith inevitably is tested in more ways than people probably even thought would happen. But I'm telling you guys, we are here for you, and we're going to stay here for you. We do this show for a reason, okay? We want to pass that faith on to you guys and to allow you to live a life that is gratifying and rewarding. In the end, we are going to win, and this is going to be the story that we tell our children, our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren. This is the most important time in my life, and I am very, very grateful to be able to share it with you guys. There are so many things that I wish could be different, but there's only so many things that I can do. There's only so many things that I can change, but together, all of us working together, all of us praying on a daily basis for the swift and inevitable conclusion of this lockdown and whatever it is that we're being thrown in front of us, we're going to be better off if we stick together than if we fracture and if we become a bunch of disparate movements. Okay, this is exactly what they want from us. They don't want us together. They don't want us to work in unison. They want us to be a bunch of individual people because we're easier to pick off that way. I need to say thank you to Gino. He says, good afternoon, fellows. Can you please say hi to my 7-year-old son, Caleb? He loves Red Pill. Gino and Caleb, thank you very much for being here today. I'm glad you're here, buddy. Untamed Species 73 says, with all the bad numbers, how are we to know what's really going on? That's the thing. We can't know what's really going on. There is no way. And when it comes down to it, that's life. Our lives are filled with unknowns. And having faith is how we're able to survive through all of those things.
Well, and to that point, just that right there, that's why Red Pill and I struggle with what to cover, what not to cover, how to present it, because we don't know everything too. We're just like y'all. We're digging around, trying to figure out things. Yeah, we might have stuff sent to us because our names get recognized and, you know, we put our information out there, but we want to handle it correctly. And that's why if you don't know and you can't find any of the information and you don't see us covering it, that means we don't know either. But that's where our faith comes in God. And you got to, even though our favorite Anon has pointed towards faith, you put Bible verses out, everything like that, there, that stuff can be separated in the sense of, okay, well, our favorite Anon, we decoded that it's supposed to be this happening and it didn't happen, or I don't see it happening, so it's not true, it's all over, whatever. Our faith in God is separate from our faith in our favorite Anon.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, we have to keep all those things separated. Now, it does resonate with our discernment that our favorite Anon is going in the right direction with what they're saying, and of course the president, that's where discernment comes in and stuff. But our faith has never wavered when it comes to us being in God's hands.
Absolutely. And Baby Love 78 said that their stimulus check is pending in their account, and they feel guilty taking it. Don't feel guilty taking it. There's a reason that President Trump pushed to have this money put into the hands of people all across America. For anyone who's having problems with their business, I urge you to look into benefits that you can get from the CARES Act, okay? There are zero interest, non-repayable loans that you don't have to pay back so that you can keep your people on payroll. There are other loans with extremely low interest and very, very flexible payment terms that you can get to keep your business afloat. There are grants that are available. There is money out there, and there is help available. And, I urge anybody out there who is in a business relationship with someone who is struggling as a result of what's taking place, be flexible, okay? Know that everything will be made whole, but do not contribute to helping people get put out of business or thrown on the street. I mean, have some compassion, I mean, if you can help people in your life, if you can help your neighbors, please do that. For any of us who are blessed, please, let's help everybody out so that we can make it through this and make it through it together. Richard Everett says, faith is a gift from God. Yes. Red Pills Warhawk says, bro, we can always tell when girlfriend is not there. Polos to flannel, keep the faith. It was a lot warmer this weekend, so I was wearing polos in the studio. This is very light. She loves the flannels. Don't get me wrong. She loves the flannels, but this is just plaid. This is very a light Oxford. Let's see. Kathleen says, Hebrews 11. Well, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Exactly. EO2 Dave says, I lived through the Cold War. I was in the Navy. This seems more like this seems more like whoever let this bioweapon of mass destruction into the world is all about hurting Trump. Yes, they're about hurting Trump, they're about hurting America, and they're about destroying our resolve.
They're also about hurting you,
mm-hmm.
and that's why Trump wants to get this stimulus check out and all that stuff. So to those that feel guilty about it, find something great to do with it,
mm-hmm.
or hold on to it for the rainy day situations. We don't know what the future's going to hold.
Yeah,
but regardless, we were attacked. If we want to agree that this was a bio attack, we were attacked, and Trump's trying to help you weather that storm.
Exactly.
So hold on to it. Help out another. There might be a perfect opportunity down the road you don't know yet. But don't feel guilty in this situation by any means.
Yeah. Let's see. Laura QAnon says, everyone remember Jesus forewarned of all of this. I believe we are getting closer to the end. Stay strong and get into his word. More trials are coming. They inevitably will. Let's see. I'm sorry, I lost my place. Black Eagle says, my faith might waver, but where else am I going to go? Yeah, and I don't blame anybody for having their faith waver. It's just you have to go through it, and then you have to come back. And if anybody here drops out, as Method said, that's your choice, and I don't begrudge you your choice. But I pray that we can all go through this together and be stronger as a result. Tony Oface says, hopefully lockdown ends by July 4th so we can celebrate our freedom. I'm really hoping President Trump, this is one of the things we're going to talk about. He is going to be announcing his decision on when to open the country. I do believe it's going to happen far, far sooner than July 4th. Chris Marquez says, words can't say what I'm feeling about what you guys are saying. It's the right message. Thank you for opening up, and know where we go one, we go all means a lot to many of us. God bless us all. God bless you too. I appreciate that, Chris. Gary Muller, thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. Baby Love 78, the stimulus check. Yeah, anybody who gets a stimulus check, use it, okay? Because we all need it. Cue the Music says, I have been paralyzed 19 years knowing God will heal me. For years, trusting President Trump and Q's easy. Good things come to those who wait. Thank you, Cue the Music. Jamie H. says, I cried for our children's future too. Yeah. Brian Ben says, appreciate you guys always digging and sharing your important findings to those of us who are not able to do it as easily. God bless you, Red Methods, and all of the family. Bless you as well, buddy. Elder says, Trump tweet WWBIA, we will build it again. We will. We're going to come back, and we're going to be stronger than ever. All of the gains that we made over the last several years, they're going to return, and we will surpass them. Stephanie Sprague says, just think of how many people are turning to Jesus over this, the Great Awakening. Yes, I really hope that that's the case. Untamed Species 73 says, thanks, guys. Put it in perspective. I know things are going on. I have faith we are on the right road. President Trump will get it done. Trump 2020. Yes, this is the most important thing. There is so much happening behind the scenes that we are not privy to because it's secret. It's top secret. They are actions and operations that we can't know about. It cannot be publicized because then the enemy would know everything that's going on. And this is, again, this is a regular warfare. We are working to do these things on a quiet basis so that nobody is going to be any the wiser until later. Once the history books are written, once everything has been made right again, then we're going to find out. And then everybody's going to see what was happening the whole time that people were beginning to doubt. Marty Cannon says, Godspeed, RP. He sees your actions and knows your heart. Thank you, Marty. Peace, love. Thank you for that. Ron Estes says, RP, it's easier to trust Q and Q Plus because my hope is in Christ and him crucified. I know nothing but this. When your hope is rightly placed, you know God has a plan. Q and Q Plus are mere servants to the Most High. That's the best way you could possibly have said it. Trump Be Cool says, tough weekend. I consider it my job to lift others when they fall, but sometimes the burden is too great. I am back to my strong self. We have you, RP, and methods. I will not falter. Faith equals strength. I feel the exact same way. I feel it's my responsibility to come here with methods, to do my daily shows, to do the live streams, to try to help people and lift them up. And, there's been people have said things recently about friendly fire. I know that there are people who are infiltrating, my stream, my chat, my Twitter links and threads that I put out. There are people out there who are actively working to destroy the resolve that I have. And, I'm only as strong as I can be, through my own efforts and the effort of God, helping me through all of this. And I need to be there for you guys. I need to be there for my family. I need to be there for the country. I need to be there for the president. And sometimes it's overwhelming. Sometimes it's not easy, but I have to do it. And so I persevere through it. Frank Lasner.
Hold on a second. To that point, because you were talking about people making comments and stuff like that about losing faith and, the president or the plan or whatever, stuff like that. And I've said this before, but I will always just repeat it because it needs to happen. That's the shill narrative right now. And I know that some people genuinely feel that way that are not bots or whatever, but that's literally what they're running with right now because they can see it working. To a degree, and they need to try to separate us because we are the vote to get Trump back in, push this movement forward. You see the divisiveness and the infighting and all those things happening. That's what they've decided to do right now.
Yeah, that's their plan.
If you feel that way, it's like I said, your emotions are your own. If that's how you feel, we don't know what's going on in your lives. We don't know what's been happening to build you to this point. Just like some of these people that are doing those things, that we don't know what's going on in their personal lives all the way to understand it. But with that said, Red Pill and I don't want to be a part of a shill narrative. You know what I mean? Like and I'm not dogging people for it. What I'm saying is that sometimes we can't tell, because we see the comments made by a brand new Twitter account that hasn't tweeted since 2015, but then they're showing up in our tweets saying those same kind of things. So there's obviously fuel being thrown on that fire. But we will get through this and we'll do it together. However many people want to stick with us, stick with other people, whoever, I don't care who you follow, stick with this family, take care of each other because that's what we're trying to do. Red Pill and I created these shows with Comfy Sunday and Quarantime. What was the start of the conversation, Red Pill? It was, we need to do something to help be there for the movement, right? Both of them. And that's why we're here with this. And that's where we're going with this direction. Attack us, say we're doing things wrong, saying we're not being realistic. And, we don't care. That's why I tweet. I don't care, about these things. So that's what's going on now. And we're just weathering these things. But yeah, I just wanted to say that, man.
No,
go ahead.
You're totally right, dude. And Q Shook Me All Night Long says, I never got the whole shill thing. It's a psychological operation, okay? We are victims of psyops on a daily basis. I mean, in the same way that we have our own defensive maneuvers and offensive maneuvers taking place under the banner of our favorite Anon and, you know, many other people out there who we are not privy to. The other side has the exact same thing, all right? They have armies of people, both real and bots, that come out and do everything they can to try and infiltrate, to try and demoralize, to try and shake us, and to try to make us leave. But it's not going to happen. I'm not going anywhere. Frank Lassner says, thank you, Red Pill and Methods. I fight on the climate front every day, but it's the same war. It's the uphill, it's up the hill, but also on the climate front, we are slowly winning, finally. New Q59, the message is retracted, so I don't know what it says, but thank you very much for that. Ashley says, they attack because we are blessed. They don't want us awake because we are powerful. Pray. Thank you, God, for bringing wisdom. We have power over darkness and demons, just have to realize it. Yes, we do. Let's see. So, I missed it. Sorry. Michael Kenny says, we can hear it in your voice and we see it in the chats and the Twitters. Sending you a virtual hug, RP. No homo thing. I accept your hug, Michael. Sharon Bergstein says, Psalm 94:16, who will rise up for me against the wicked? Who will stand for me against those who practice iniquity? Yes. I'm here doing that for God. Sharon Bergstein.
Somebody in the chat just said, Methods, would you be left-handed? I relate to your train of thinking. Yes, actually, I am left-handed, the Druid. I just saw that. I just figure, why not? Go ahead, buddy.
That's awesome. Joshua Maltebarger says, the both of you have hearts of gold. May God bless both of you. Thank you, Joshua. Dale Bercier says, I have been blessed to have my job. I am trying to help this movement by supporting folks like you, M3, Space Shot, RDoc, and others. Keep the faith, patriots. Spread love to everyone. Thank you very much, Dale. Char Lara says, God spoke to me and said that the enemy's going to give it all he has up until the election. With every punch from the enemy, God has a counter. I completely agree. The Spiders, thank you for that. Lightning Fire says, thank you for all you're doing to keep us in touch. Remember, the Bible tells us God wins the battle. Exactly, and that's why I'm not quitting, because I know the end already. New Q59 says, praying for you guys. Thank you for your service to your country. My faith is in Jesus alone. Yes, thank you. I appreciate it. Jeffrey West says, I feel the presence of God with your work. Keep it up. Have you heard anything about Nasara? Yes, I have heard things about Nasara, and I have some guests coming up in the very, very near future. We're going to be talking about Nasara. I don't know if Nasara is something that will ever materialize, but my guests are very knowledgeable about it, and I certainly hope that and pray that this is, what's going to happen. Let's see. Joe Quigley says, our faith should now be more than ever be uniting us to share truth and red pill our loved ones. Out of the Shadows was an amazing tool. Wait, Out of the Shadows is amazing too. Oh, no, it is an amazing tool. We are not called to be bench warmers. Philippians 4:13, keep the faith. Kevin Crystal says, must watch on YouTube documentary Out of Shadows. Jose and Liana Guthan says, therefore, my beloved brothers and sisters, be steadfast, immovable, always excelling in the work of the Lord, being continually aware that your labor is in the Lord is not futile nor wasted, never without purpose. 1 Corinthians 15:58. Jennifer 4327 says, what an incredible show. Your tears show your heart and mirrors your audience and is the best medicine for this fellowship. We need you. We love you. Thank you, Jennifer. Son of a Green Card says, blessed to still be working. However, the washing machine just died at home and I started off the work day by stepping in dog poop. However, a bad day doesn't mean a bad life. Yes, Son of a Green Card has been with me since the very beginning, man. I love you. Appreciate you. Great Gino guy. Says, the plan and the gospel of Jesus Christ must work together. As long as those two are side by side, this movement is unstoppable. I pray for this awakening every day. Prayer is our weapon of warfare. It is. And thank you, everybody, for everything that you said. I appreciate it. And again, I am blessed to be here. I am blessed to still be working. I'm blessed to be able to bring this message of hope and unity to you guys on a daily basis. And again, I would not be doing this. Methods would not be doing this if it were not for the fact that you guys show up every single day to hang out with us. And I hope that what we say gives you some measure of comfort and will carry us through until the final day when everything is over with this ridiculous shutdown and everything in between.
Right. Yeah. I mean, there's been different phases, right? If you think about it. Now, of course, obviously this affects a lot of us. It hits us in our wallets, hits us in, our family life, being separated and all this stuff. This is a rough patch. This is definitely a rough time during all this since we got started. But think about each phase of things that we've been through. And we're like, oh, this is never going to end. Like the impeachment stuff, it's never going to end. Even though that round 2 looks like they're going for, you get my point. Like we will get through all these things and get stronger together. You know what I mean? And you get tougher, like the whole war wounds analogy. You get these wounds, these scars during this battle, and you're tougher for it, right? How many, I know, and we've said this before, like I know personally, I am way stronger of a person mentally and more faith in my own future than before I got started as methods. I can say that I get that a lot from people who have talked to me over the last few years. Let me ask the chat. Give me a 1 if you were better off mentally, emotionally. Now I know this time is hard, but you get my point. Stronger faith in God. Give me a 1 if you're better off growing as a person. Give me a 2 if you want. If it just hasn't worked for you.
I know that I am definitely a stronger person. My faith was already renewed before this began, but it seems that every single day of President Trump's tenure as president, it's just gotten even stronger and stronger and stronger because I have worked to better myself and to become the best possible person that I can be. And I try to bring that to you guys as the culmination of the sum total of my parts by being able to bring this information to you guys on a daily basis and to support the methods and the plan of our president and the team behind our favorite Anon. This gives me purpose. And, I had purpose before, but this gives me something that I never thought that I would ever achieve in my life. And to be here with you guys is a dream. It's an absolute blessing. Go ahead.
All those ones that you see, they were just flying. It's great to see, obviously.
Yep.
All these ones we see right here, and even with the people that would agree that aren't with us right now at this time in this live stream, y'all are the future, right? We're building that platform. We're building the structure for the future of questioning everything, keeping eyes on what's happening around us, not letting us get back into this mess that we're trying to pull out of. Y'all are the future of this stuff. Your children, these videos are going to be saved. That's why we archive offline. Yep. We will keep these around because we're building a future. And all these ones that you see, I want anybody who feels alone right now during the most social, distance time of our lives, that you are not alone. Look at all those ones, man. It's just beautiful to see, and sometimes we just have to remind ourselves of that.
Need to say thank you to Cynthia Roberts. She says, thank you for raising my spirits and knowledge daily. Ron Estes says, knowing the evil now exposed, it is hard to find patience. We all want victory now. Victory is here. Look at the flood of people waking up to the truth. My heart too breaks for the children. I cry like a baby. Yeah, it's definitely not easy for me knowing what's taking place in this world and, having that knowledge and realizing that it's still happening. Unfortunately, it can't all be wiped away in a day. These people built this system up over years, decades, hundreds of years probably. And the fact that we are unraveling it gives me peace. But unfortunately, it's not happening at the rate that myself and everybody else here probably wants it to happen. But unfortunately, it's not up to us. But we can do this work that we're doing right now and hopefully speed it up and help it along.
Hey, we got some breaking news, man.
What's the breaking news?
Bernie Sanders endorses Joe Biden for president.
I saw that in the chat earlier. Yeah,
no, I got it from the chat, but I just went and confirmed it. So thanks to the chat for saying it.
Yeah, thanks, guys. So not surprised that Bernie Sanders has endorsed Joe Biden. I mean, I'm sure he got his kickback check from the DNC. Mark Brininger, thank you for joining as a member. Lynn Houston says, my grown sons have been awake for a long time. My 3 young adult grandsons were forced to listen to Uber Grandma for years. Now they are living through a mess and carry the message. Feeling blessed. I'm glad that you're able to pass that along to your lineage. Ron Estes says, your God is working on your heart when you can squeeze water from your eyes. Yeah, absolutely, I agree. Victoria Olevenic says, thanks for being you. Thank you, Victoria. Michelle Morris, thank you for that. Filled with Hope says, thank you both for what you do, not only for the information you've shared, but with the community you've created. This is where we go one, we go all manifested. This is our new normal, strength and love. And Jason Wren, may the sound of your tears be music to the Lord's ears. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for all you've done, for coming here and to hang out with us, and for listening to me unburden myself. I was really heavy coming into this show, and I didn't know if I was even going to say any of that. It all just kind of came out, but I'm glad that I did. I'm glad you did too, man, for sure. Let's take this moment. We're halfway through the show. We're right at about 5,000 people watching, 1.9 thousand likes. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. Click that like button for sure. I also want to, since we're talking about faith and prayer and everything, I know that there's tons out there that are asking for prayer and stuff. Please, anytime you see people on Twitter asking for it, take a moment, be there for them, all that stuff. But it's just the two in specific that hit close to us. Was one, Severe Anon said he was being attacked really hard, I guess spiritually. Yeah. So we ask that you pray for him. He fights hard. He really cares. He's got that passion like what Red Pill's showing today. So please pray for him, whatever it is. We don't know the specifics, but with that said, and also I know a lot of you guys have seen it. Our buddy 412 Anon, who's just really been close to us. We've been working with him and known him for a while. It was very unfortunate to find out that his grandmother actually passed away yesterday morning. It's sad to see it. He's going to take a few days to kind of, recalibrate and all that, but please lift up 412 and his family in prayer. Hop over on his Twitter. It's 412anon87 is his handle. Make sure you go over there and show some support, because they're both having a hard time today. Yeah, absolutely. I want to take you guys to this first little thing right here. President Trump talking about opening up the country again. He said, for the purpose of creating conflict and confusion, some in the fake news media are saying that it is the governor's decision to open up the states, not that of the president of the United States and the federal government. Let it be fully understood that this is incorrect. It is the decision of the president, and for many good reasons. With that being said, the administration and I are working closely with the governors, and this will continue. A decision by me, in conjunction with the governors and input from others, will be made shortly. Now, I saw something earlier that said that President Trump, as early as tomorrow, he might be announcing the date that we're going to reopen the country. And if that doesn't happen, hopefully it happens in the very near future. Like I said earlier, President Trump is doing these press conferences every single day. With the opportunity to talk directly to the people. And I think he's got the attention of America more than he ever has in the past. I mean, you look at his following and the response to his tweets on Twitter and the obvious suppression of what he's putting out there. He's still reaching people directly on a daily basis. And even now with what's taking place and the need for these press conferences, he's doing an even better job. His approval rating is as high as it's ever been. The reasoning behind what's taking place, it's clear that he was given bad information from people like Fauci and Birx. He retweeted something. I can't remember who it was from. Was it a reporter from OWN saying that she had said hashtag fire Fauci? President Trump retweeted it. I think that's an obvious message to us so that we realize that he isn't blind to what's going on and what's taken place. Make no mistake, the situation that the country is in, I mean, we can blame a particular country for that, but we can also blame a particular party here in the United States. President Trump wants to save American lives. President Trump wants to keep the economy chugging along. And right now there's another stimulus package that the Dems are holding back in Congress because they want to add more pork to it. They want to change it to better suit their needs. They want to change the way we vote in this country. And the Republicans are not going to allow that to go ahead and pass on through. So right now, if anybody is hurting, I'm here for you, and we are all here for you. But I want you to make sure that you direct your ire in the correct direction. President Trump can only do so much. I know that a lot of people would be much happier if he was to handle things, all on his own, just presidential decrees and just, make it so. But he's not a dictator. Okay, and he can't afford to act like a dictator. He has to act within the boundaries of the laws and jurisprudence of the United States of America, and he wants to restore our republic. He doesn't want to turn us into, Rome 2.0 or another banana republic like we were on the verge of becoming until he became president. But Methods, have you heard anything, any murmurings of President Trump in this announcement that he might be making?
Right. I mean, I've had the same thought that you've had about it, of what I've seen. Like, he's trying to make a decision on the rollout to open America back up, because different states have different things going on as far as the amount of cases and, spread and all that stuff. So I believe that there's an announcement. That's why he said it's a tough decision, right? You open it up the wrong way and it spreads around more, then we're back even more for it. Because the part of this is not just, and a lot of people have been pointing this out, I can't take credit for it, but when we open up back, when we're told that we can, whether, Trump says it or little Hydra Fauci says it, though people are still going to be afraid to be around each other, right? Like, they're like sports, even like, are you really going to go right into sitting into the stands with everybody yelling and sweating and getting excited and all those things? It's going to take a while for these things to happen. And that's all on Trump's shoulders, essentially. And so, yeah, but to your point, I know I'm going around, to your point, as I understand it, I believe that you want to start that rollout by the end of this month. At least have some places opening, maybe different businesses are allowed to, step back up, that make them essential, because it's all essential ultimately, right?
Yeah,
the taxes need to be coming in, people need to get paid, we need the economy to build up. So every job's essential, in our eyes. And so, yeah, I think it's going to happen a lot sooner than what they're fear mongering about, but it's going to have to be a rollout.
And then you look at other countries, there are other countries that never shut down, and their infection rate is less than what we have here in the United States. I'm talking about Norway, I think it was, a couple of different countries in Scandinavia, but they never ever shut down. They kept their economies going, and they're doing just fine. So I want people to not be afraid to go out in public and take care of their business and keep the economy going. And I urge you, as soon as we possibly can, let's start pumping as much money as possible into this and start helping each other out in whatever way we possibly can. Whether it's, by going to a restaurant or helping out your neighbor, it doesn't matter. There's a million different ways that we can do it. Let's see. I need to say thank you to Filled with Hope again. Thank you for that. Jason Wren says, thank you again, Jason. Lorinda Krause, thank you. Sharon Bergstein says, we are living in a time where we are seeing God's hands move in real time. Think of how much has been exposed and how much we have learned. Harvest time for Christ. Yes, this is a big reason why I have the faith that I do, because I have lived my entire life in slavery. I saw this firsthand. I saw the work of these evil people, and I saw the way our country was going, the direction we were taking, and I've seen then President Trump come into office and things begin to change. Okay, we've already won. They are on the retreat, but this is just another front in this war that we're participating in. Patty Patriot says, out of the abundance of your heart, your mouth speaks. Thank you, Patty. Denise says, people are seeing that family and friends are more important than material things, learning to interact and enjoy simple things in life. Very true. Very, very true. This, for a lot of people, it's probably forced you to spend more time than you have in many years with the people who are closest to you, and I hope that it's been a blessing for you. Gaffer Anon says, our favorite Anon's timing is like God's timing, right on time when it's meant to be. Where we go one, we go all. Yes, exactly. Only when it's meant to happen. Carl Erickson says, much love to all patriots. Happy to see you, RP and M3. Keep the faith and stand firm. Show love to 412 Anon. Yes, 412. I messaged him today and I let him know that if there's anything that I can do for him, I'm here. I know what it's like to lose somebody directly in your family, even people that you just had as extended family, your friends and loved ones. It doesn't matter. There's always going to be a hole in your heart when there's a loss like that. But we're here for you, brother, and just let us know if you need anything. Gino says, have you seen the Epic Times doc on the CV-19? The expose sheds light on the weaponization of the original strain to infect human cells. This virus in Pfizer will be the end of the Dem Party. I haven't seen the whole thing, but it's in my queue to go ahead and watch.
I had a bunch of people suggest it. I need to watch it too.
Yeah, I know it from the few minutes that I saw. I knew it was going to be good. Epic Times is incredible. Lady Be Good says, I thought Tiffany Fitzhenry's the oldest soul. Oh, I bought Tiffany Fitzhenry's The Oldest Soul book trilogy. I just finished the first book. A good read. I recommend for quarantine, pass the time. Louis says, I'm not that religious or that patient, but I believe that we will see them, the D's, go to jail. You have to look at it like if the witch would have been in, we wouldn't be awake at all, or at least broadcasting to the, I don't know what that's supposed to say. Broadcasting to the awoke. It takes time. Now that we are awake, we just have to wait. It sucks, but it all can't be done correctly if they hurry it up and if they want these D fools in jail for the rest of their lives. Yes, it can't happen in a hurried and rushed manner. As we know, John Durham is an exacting and proficient prosecutor. He's going to go through absolutely every piece of evidence, and I believe that not a single person is going to escape unharmed who has committed these crimes against America.
He's like the super autist that we need.
He is, yes, and I cannot wait someday maybe I'll be able to interview him. Carl Erickson says, let's get a run of 412 to show support. Please drop 412 in the chat for 412 and on.
Yeah, drop 412 and then drop severe as well.
Please. And then if you guys could, we're at 5,430 people here, 2.4 thousand likes. Please do drop us a like, help us share this broadcast and get the word out. So although Bernie Sanders has endorsed Joe Biden, the Democratic Socialists want you to know that they are not endorsing Joe Biden. I thought that was pretty funny. Both of those things came out on the same day.
Right. Yeah. What he's talking about is that the official Twitter for the Democrat Socialists of America tweeted out just this morning. I drop it in the chat, but it's flying. They just put out a single tweet and it says, "We are not endorsing Joe Biden." So you have Bernie come in and endorse him, but the crew that would have been backing Bernie are like, nah, we're good. So we're watching the implosion of the Democrat Party, because who are you going to support? And I also saw this interesting. Did you see who they're pushing now to be the VP candidate with Biden?
No, who?
Cuomo.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me at all.
That's the new narrative. Yeah, when you think about it, everybody's like, oh, he's going to replace Biden because Biden's just falling apart. No, the argument now that the mainstream media is pushing is for Cuomo to be his VP. So that's where we are right now.
It makes a lot of sense. Cuomo's had a ton of FaceTime during this whole situation that we find ourselves in. And he obviously has a greater level of mental acuity. He would be able to be the man behind the mask, if you will.
He could be the Biden translator.
He could. Okay, another reason I want people to feel better about what's happening once we do open the country up again. There's been another study that's been done which finds that the mortality rate of CV-19 is 0.4%, okay? 0.4%. That is a very, very low number. And just take a look at the statistics in this country. We don't know what the true rate of death is because we know that they're just, marking that box. They don't care. They're not testing. They're just marking the box because they get more federal funding. But this is a study from Germany, which shows that the people actually passing away from this is a very, very low percentage of the people who contracted or even get sick from it. So James Woods just trolled Bernie on Twitter. Hey, Jude said.
You got to enjoy that. And Jojo K and Sharon Sellers, thank you for letting me know. I didn't catch it because obviously I don't pay attention to Cuomo. He said he doesn't want any part of the election, apparently. Okay. I mean, that makes sense. Why would you want to just tie yourself to the Titanic, right?
Sterell Palmer says, thank you, RP and Methods, for all you do. When we do open up, it will be amazing. Durham doesn't act until he has all the goods. Where we go one, we go all. Prayers for 412 and family. Keep America great. And then, again, hey, Jude. Cautious Observer says, no way I could handle vice president party teens. Oh, if anybody doesn't know what he's talking about, Chris, or what is it? Andrew Cuomo, is that his name? Andrew Cuomo? Chris Cuomo's brother?
Yeah.
He's got some barbell piercings in a very sensitive area. You can see it when he wears a tight-fitting shirt. Very strange. Very, very strange. And his ex-girlfriend even put out a video urging people not to shame him for having them. What is going on in the world? I don't even understand.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. I mean, I guess in hindsight, listening to him ramble on so much, getting that free advertisement on Fox, like it wouldn't make sense for him to have those piercings, right? Like, I mean, it's par for the course.
Yes. So Boris Johnson is out of the hospital, you guys. He is apparently fully recovered. He was given a miracle cure, it says, but they won't report on what the actual treatment was, which is very telling. You have to believe that he probably got some help from America and our manufacturers of hydroxychloroquine. And I hope that Boris Johnson continues to get up on his feet. Denise, I don't know if you've gotten any more information about this than us, because you're right there on the ground, and you tend to get the reports on Boris and what's happening with the politics there in the UK before we do. I think Boris Johnson is essential to the overarching plan that we have going on right now. If we had lost him, I don't know the direction the UK would have went. But I mean, I can make an educated guess as to what might have taken place there. Very, very good news, though, to know that Boris Johnson is out of the ICU and he's out without any symptoms. He's got no symptoms now, so it is a miracle cure as far as he's concerned. This is also really good news here. Mark Meadows is going to be heading up a new economic task force for the president. I mean, Mark Meadows clearly has the best interests of America and her citizens in mind. And I know that his close proximity to the president, his wonderful relationship with the president, I think this is going to bear some incredible fruit. I think that for anybody who is hurting economically right now, obviously, that's horrible, and I know how it feels, okay? I've been in your shoes before, but we're going to bounce back. President Trump is going to put something together here with the help of Mark Meadows that I think is really, really going to help America. And, it's about time. I think that, considering this crisis, the things they've done already have been of an incredible benefit. I know that obviously there's such an insane demand for the help with the monies that's available from the CARES Act, but people have started receiving those checks. Baby Love can attest. Method said that it was trending on Twitter. Many people were showing the information from their bank accounts. I haven't seen anything myself yet, but as soon as I do, I will definitely report on it. Denise says 2 hospitals testing hydroxychloroquine. Boris at his country retreat resting for a few days. Let's see. Methods. Have you or your wife seen anything show up?
Oh, as far as the check goes, no, not yet.
All right. Son of a Green Card says, can you fathom that the water I sent you was over a year ago already? Good times. Man, that's insane. I didn't think it had been that long. Yeah. Son of a Green Card sent me some of the purest mountain spring water, or maybe it was glacier water, from, we'll say, the Arctic North. Thank you again, Denise and Son of a Green Card. And thank you again, Cautious Observer. So, Methods, did you have any stories pulled up specifically to talk about?
Well, I want to make sure we cover it because we need to cover other things going on, especially since we see a lot of the military stuff going on in the South, like below the border, right? Like, it's interesting that we're down there and the military going in that direction. One of our girls, Chanel from OAN, let me grab the tweet real quick. She put out that breaking Iranian President Rouhani and Venezuela's narco leader Maduro.
Oh, yeah.
On whom the U.S. DOJ has a $15 million bounty, had a phone call this morning. Rouhani reportedly tells Maduro, quote, U.S. imperialism is more dangerous than the Kung flu. That's me changing the word, but you get my point. And then she said China and Iran making moves in Venezuela. So if you kind of put all those pieces together, now think about what Feinstein did, asking for the relief help to Iran, 4 days ago? Sending a letter in saying we need to help them with this problem. And that her and her love for China. But if you notice that a lot of this stuff is starting to happen down there in the South, because all this is happening right after we put the bounty on his head, we're breaking up this trafficking stuff problems. and all that. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it went hot down there, man. I'll just be honest. I'm not trying to put fear or whatever, but just the way things are panning out, it looks like a lot of things are going on down there that we're not privy to.
I agree. I think there's a distinct possibility that it might. But I also think that the might and power of the American military is going to supersede anything that Maduro might be able to hand out. I wish that I had some on-the-ground reporting from people in Venezuela so I could, get a handle on exactly what it's like down there. Because, I mean, Maduro is not recognized, but then he's obviously still operating. And I wonder if it's just like a portion of the country or if he is controlling the entire country, because Juan Guaido it looks like he's walking the streets. And if he's the recognized leader of Venezuela, I would imagine Maduro has a major problem with that. So I'd be interested to see what it's actually like down there. Need to say thank you to White Hat Granny. Thank you for that. Jordan Brown says, with you guys till the end. Where we go one, we go all. And Georgia Patriot says, for those of you who are impatient or feeling dejected, keep in mind that it's called the Great Awakening. We can't expect 7.8 billion people to be awakened overnight. But things like the documentary Out of Shadows having 3.5 million views in 3 days gives me hope. Where we go one, we go all worldwide. Yeah,
it's such a good documentary.
Yeah,
I can't stress it enough. Watch it. Absolutely watch it. I'll drop the link in the chat for those that just need it handy, because I'm sure everybody in here has seen it.
Thank you very much, Georgia Patriot and Jordan Brown and White Hat Granny. I appreciate it, you guys. Somebody said, Carolyn Marie says, I got an extra $250 on her SSI. So I know it's not much. My daughter was actually just sent a notification that because she didn't qualify for unemployment, she does qualify for the additional unemployment, and they're going to be getting her set up, I guess, within a week or something like that. So she'll be able to start taking care of some bills that she had. I've covered her up until this point, but obviously she wants to be able to take care of everything as she should. Let's see. Well, you guys, we're coming up to 2:55 p.m. right now. 2.9 thousand likes, 5,851 people here watching the program. Thank you guys very much for being here with us today. Just want to remind everybody, we are, of course, going to have the regularly scheduled news roundup at 6 p.m., and that will continue throughout the week, always at 6 p.m. It may be a little bit, a few minutes late because it's a time crunch putting it together after doing Quarantime, but I do my best to get it out on time so you guys know when to tune in, just in case you don't get a notification. I would also ask, if anybody here is on Twitter, you can always follow me at RedPill78, and of course you can follow Methods at M2Madness. We are doing everything we can. Our Dr. D says disaster unemployment gets calculated after normal unemployment. Okay, thank you very much for that, R Doc. I appreciate it. So don't. Table of Titans. Table of Titans. Hulkinator says Red Pill and Methods. Thanks for all you do. Thanks you guys. I appreciate you both as well. Oh man.
Well, that'd be a good time to say that we're gonna have those boys on Sunday. Remember?
That's right. I was just waiting for you.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, it's something that we would like to hype up throughout the week because everybody knows that we're all brothers. We're gonna have Space Shot, Hulkinator, and R-Doc on Comfy Sunday, this following Sunday, for 2 hours. It's going to be the five of us, chatting with each other. So that should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it, man. I really, really am.
I am too. R-Doc, Space Shot, Hulkinator, they all do great work. It's going to be an awesome conversation. And I'm glad that they were able to spend the full 2 hours with us. They put in a lot of work. And anytime we get anybody on our show that has the ability to set some time aside and come hang out with us, it's a major deal because I know that everybody's working overtime. This is very, very important what everybody is doing, and for what we have, the time that we have together, it's very precious. So thank you guys for coming on the show and agreeing to do it with us. We love you. I'm looking forward to what happens in the news, so we have some interesting things to talk about.
Yeah, no, it'll be interesting for sure because we all just pick on each other. So that should be a lot of fun. But yeah, I did want to slide this in. I know that we just got a few minutes left, but on the topic of prayer and everything, the Southeast got hit hard, man. It got really hit hard with the thunderstorms and tornadoes. I know I had said this morning that there was 750,000 people without power, but my wife told me that last night there were reports of up to 1.5 million people that were without power yesterday. Allie B had sent us some pictures and stuff about it. Maybe we could just tweet them out or share them later. I know we don't have a whole lot of time left, but prayers to everybody going through that. It hit a lot of people. It didn't. People know I'm in the Southeast. We just had a lot of bad rain and wind and thunder, but I mean, it did hit our areas. But we've seen the footage and the videos and all that, and it's just absolutely crazy. Okay, yeah. So you're pulling up the video.
Yeah. It's not.
You got. It's over there on the chat.
Oh gosh, there we go. Okay, yeah, here we go.
You and your million screens.
Let's check.
This was sent over to us by Allie. Allie B, thank you.
Okay, what you're seeing there is a foundation of a home, and then what? You said it was about a half acre away. Look at that.
I'm terrible at pointing it out, but I mean, look at how far from the foundation.
Yeah.
That house was dragged.
It's pretty far.
Right, and that's in Georgia. They don't know if the family was in the house. There's not reports either way. Obviously, there wasn't any deaths because they would be reporting that as such. But yeah, I mean, that's how bad this thing came through. And I mean, as my understanding, some parts of either North or South Carolina are dealing with it. I'd have to check, obviously. But yeah, I just want to let everybody know we're praying for you. I mean, that's rough. That's absolutely rough.
Absolutely. Navy vet said, "Evil has no reign on the righteous. As long as it takes to free the slaves, it's God's plan, period." Diane Gomez says, "The last war might not be so quiet." And Red Pills Warhawk is going to be making you a tomahawk methods. He says, "Can you please throw methods my personal info for his tomahawk?" Yes.
Appreciate it, brother. Yeah, I heard that there was a challenge and y'all made it, huh?
Yep.
I appreciate it, guys, for real.
Yep. All right, guys. Well, thank you again for watching. I appreciate all of you. We will see you again here tomorrow at 2 p.m. for Quarantime, and I'll be back at 6 p.m. for your news brief. Good luck, everyone, and God bless.
Much love.
Oh, Sherry Campbell says, "Trust God. We are just in a holding pattern for the next door to open into a better life." Trump 2020.